What's good, yeah, it's your boy, like your boys, back at like a better than a brand such a person's back on. Welcome back to Spooky Scary Friday. Today, about to react to He is a serial killer. Three true horror stories animated by one and only IMR scary shows. The original videos is in the description if you want to go check it out. And let's get straight into a story one, your boys. Don't forget to snack, don't forget to drinks.
Thursday at Medisure Insurance. Same old phones ringing, the same clatter of keyboards, and the usual groans about who'd finished their coffee first before the vending machine broke again. I was at my desk on the 30th floor, scrolling through emails, counting the hours till lunch. Nothing ever happened here. Then he walked in. He didn't look like trouble at first, just some middle-aged guy with tired eyes, dressed in a suit that didn't quite fit him. But it was the bag that caught my eye. This huge black duffel bag slung over his shoulder. Looked way too heavy for just papers. He went straight to the front desk where Clara, our receptionist, greeted him with her usual overly chipper smile.
Good morning. How can I help you today?
He slammed a folder down on the desk. I need someone to look at my claim, he said, voice flat. Clara frowned as she opened the folder.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. This is something the claims department handles.
Oh.
But you'll need an appointment.
His tone.
You see, this is normal. Nothing should escalate from here because this is normal stuff. You know, you go there and they say, "Hey, you don't do those things here. You take an appointment. You go to this place, to different place." The normal thing to say. Now, if it crash out, it's a no reasonable crash out. You know what I'm saying?
Changed so fast it made my stomach flip. An appointment? I've been waiting for months.
Oh
my wife
gosh.
is dying, and you people can't even. He cut himself off, slamming his fist on the desk so hard the paper.
This is what I was talking about just now. What is your problem, man? You don't need to schedule an appointment every time. It's 2025. I don't know.
Papers jumped. The whole
Dog.
floor went quiet. Clara, bless her, tried to keep her calm.
I understand, sir, but
You don't understand anything! He
Shit.
yelled, and that's when I saw it. His
Oh,
hand
no.
moved to the bag, unzipping it slowly.
Oh, goodness
My
gracious.
chest tightened. My gut screamed. This is bad.
It is bad.
He pulled out a shotgun. Everyone back!
Hey man, I'm not gonna cap. I'm not gonna cap, bro. Bro, like security may be in front. If people are walking into this place right here, security need to be up front checking people. I'm not gonna cap. I'm not like one of those people that's like, bro. You know what I'm saying? But like, it gotta happen, dog. Like, you see how many, this is true story, so you see how many times this type of shit happens, dog. It's like, okay, you coming to this place, the security will pat you down to see if there's nothing on you. Okay? You have to look on your bag so there's nothing on you. I know that kind of sounds really horrible, and that kind of sounds like, bro, if I'm saying, what if I got a license on that? You know what I'm saying? They might let you keep it if you have a license on that. But like, the thing I'm saying is, bro, if they start checking people, look, I'm just saying for safety of everybody, and this how you from saying, people should start checking people. If this like high quality places people are walking into, you need to get checked, pat down. You know what I'm saying? Like simple as that, dog. So people can feel in a safe environment to work. He just crashed out for no reason, dog. It's 2025. Take an appointment. Fuck is wrong with you?
He shouted, his voice so loud it made my
You see,
ears ring.
this would not happen. A whole shotty, he pulled in the bank or some shit like that, or somewhere.
Clara let out this blood-curdling scream and ran, her heels clicking against the floor.
Oh goodness,
People ducked under desks or
for sure.
bolted for the exits. But I just
Man.
froze. My hands gripped the edge of my desk so hard, my knuckles went white.
Now this is the reason, like, you need to have your grip on you. You need to have your gun on you. Because if this shit happens at your work, you have to have a licensed gun. You can come out and pop his ass. And what would that be? Self-defense. What would that be? You saved everybody's life. You feel what I'm saying? Maybe tell him, maybe not pop his head. You know, say you put your gun down. You feel what I'm saying? Something like that. But like this is wild.
The man, Carter, I heard someone whisper, climbed onto Clara's desk, the shotgun swinging back and forth like a pendulum. His face was red, veins bulging in his neck. You think you can ignore me? Push me around? Not anymore! He fired into the ceiling.
Oh,
Boom!
you.
Dust and chunks of plaster rained down, covering everything in this gritty white powder. The whole office went into shock. No one moved. No one even breathed. Where's your boss? Carter barked. Get him out here, now! The silence was deafening. No one dared answer. His eyes darted around, landing on this young intern sitting near the back. She couldn't have been more than 22, fresh out of college. He grabbed her by the arm, yanking her out of the chair.
Nah, but this is not right.
He
Oh
stopped,
heck no.
shoving her into the middle of the room. She was sobbing so hard she could barely breathe. Nobody moves or she's dead! I could barely hear anything over the blood pounding in my ears. I wanted to crawl to my phone and call for help, but it was on the desk, right out in the open. If he saw me move, I'd be next. Minutes dragged like hours. Carter was pacing now, waving the gun around, ranting about how the system is broken and insurance companies decide who lives and who dies.
Listen, bro, why do his office don't got the things under there? There's that button they can push and police can come. Why do you don't have that? Like, I don't understand.
Voice cracked when he said, "My wife begged me to fight for her, and this is the only way you people listen." The sirens came next.
Here we go.
The sound was muffled at first, but when the lights outside started flashing red and blue, it hit me. The cops were here.
Yeah.
The voice came over the intercom, calm and steady. "Mr. Carter, this is Detective Ellis with the NYPD. We want to help you. Let's talk." Carter laughed bitterly, shaking his head. "Talk? You want to talk now? Where were you when I needed your help? When my wife needed help? Where were you then?" He yanked the intern to her feet again,
Nah, bro.
pointing the gun at her head. Her knees buckled and she let out a sob that made my heart shatter. "You don't think I know how this ends?" Carter growled. "You'll call me crazy, a terrorist, but I'm not the bad guy here. You, the ones with riches and power, get to decide who gets to live and fucking die." His shoulders slumped. For a second, I thought he might give up. His grip on the shotgun loosened, and his head dropped. That's when I
Pop him.
saw it, the red laser dot on his chest. The shot rang out, louder than anything I'd ever heard. Carter staggered back. His eyes
Now it's no fun, no more fun games, huh?
blossomed across his shirt. The shotgun fell to the floor
Yeah.
with a heavy thud. He collapsed a second later, crumpling like a puppet whose strings had been cut. The intern screamed, and officers stormed the room, pulling her to safety. The SWAT team
Damn,
swarmed
strong ass chin, boy. What the fuck?
in, guns drawn, shouting commands that I couldn't even process. I stayed under my desk, too afraid to move, too afraid to breathe. My whole body was trembling. Even after they carried Carter's body out on a stretcher, his face pale and lifeless, I couldn't make myself get up. Some nights
Oh.
I wake up in cold sweat, the echo of that gunshot ringing in my ears, and Carter's voice whispering over and over, "You think you're safe?" The protagonist of the story is a fictional character based on 26-year-old
Okay.
Luigi Mangione, an
Okay.
Ivy League graduate. He's
Okay.
accused of fatally shooting United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in Midtown Manhattan on December 4th, 2024.
I hear.
Allegedly
Okay.
motivated by anger toward the healthcare industry, Mangione was arrested in Altoona, Pennsylvania, 5 days later, found with a 3D printed gun. He faces multiple state and federal charges, including murder as an act of terrorism, and has pleaded not guilty. The case has sparked debates over the idolization of alleged criminals and the potential influence of public opinion on legal proceedings.
I did hear about that. I did hear about that right there. Now I lie. I didn't know that was that. Damn. Yeah. 'Cause I was saying why they is like this story. The first story is like you know, why is he in the first story? Because he's not dead. You feel what I'm saying? But okay, I understand. But I don't understand now why in the first story you killed him. You say he was dead because sniper shot him. Sniper didn't shot him. My boy's still alive. Pause. Yeah, kinda. That was kinda. I don't know. If I'm saying, but I did hear about that. If I'm saying, let's go to the. Let's go to the story
I
too.
was never someone who
Oh,
would go
yeah.
to parties. Being an introverted and socially awkward guy has always been a problem.
They ain't
around
fucking
my
that shit
family.
up, boy.
Parties were winding down and the streets were mostly
See?
empty. Our house was no different. Maddie and Kaylee had gone out earlier and returned sometime after 1:30 a.m., their laughter echoing faintly through the walls. Xana and Ethan came back shortly after, their voices mixing with the sound of the TV upstairs. I stayed downstairs, tucked away in my small room, scrolling through my phone and trying to ignore the world above me. By 2 a.m., the house fell silent. It wasn't unusual. We all had our own routines. I thought I'd drift off to sleep, but then a noise broke the quiet. A muffled thud, followed by another. I froze, my ears straining. It didn't sound
Okay, yo, boys, are back. Story 2, let's continue.
thing. It was heavier, deliberate. My mouth went dry. Maybe it was nothing, I told myself.
Okay.
Still, my chest tightened as I got up to check. I told myself I was just thirsty. As I opened my door, the air felt strange, heavy and cold, like the house was holding its breath. I crept into the kitchen, my bare feet
That's
barely
Scooby-Doo, bro. Boy, fuck is this my whole life.
making a sound on the hardwood
Hey,
floor.
bro.
That's when I saw him. At first, I thought it was Ethan. The build was similar, broad shoulders, average height. But then I noticed the mask.
That boy's high.
Black, smooth, and featureless. My breath hitched. He moved slowly, purposefully, along.
Bro, that boy is on something. His eyes is red.
Glinting in his hand. The faint moonlight from the window caught the blade, making it shimmer like a predator's tooth.
Can't cap, bro. Can't cap, bro. Damn, bro. I'm not gonna say nothing though.
Ducked behind the kitchen counter, my heart pounding so loud I was sure he'd hear it. I peeked over the edge just as he slipped into Maddie's room. The door clicked shut behind him. I
Oh
waited, my muscles stiff with fear.
Why not call
Silence
police?
stretched on, unbearable. Then came the faintest sound, a muffled gasp, and then
Nah, bro.
nothing. My stomach churned as he reappeared. The knife dripped.
Why you not calling police at this time right now? You watching? Dog, what is you on?
Dark streaks onto the floor. He didn't hesitate, moving to Kaylee's room next.
Why you not calling police?
Scream, to run, but my body refused to move.
What?
Like do was watch. He emerged again.
What?
His movements calm and methodical, as if he'd done this 1,000 times. The knife was slick with blood now, droplets trailing behind him like breadcrumbs. My chest felt like it would cave in as he turned toward Xana and Ethan's room. I crawled toward the stairs, desperate for somewhere to hide. My hands shook as I ducked behind a tall vase, pressing myself against the wall, praying he wouldn't notice me. Through the crack in the door,
What?
I saw him push into their room. Xana's voice broke the stillness.
What are you doing?
Bro, you can't. When he's walking towards other doors, his back is turned to you. You can sneak behind him and hit him in the back of the head, knock his ass out, or put him in a chokehold. What are we talking about? Or call police. You got opportunities are given. You're just not taking them.
She asked, her voice trembling. Ethan stirred, his groggy voice barely audible.
Bro,
The man didn't answer. He lunged. The
Nah,
knife
bro.
punched into Ethan's chest with a sickening crunch. Xana screamed, but it didn't last long. The sound of her terror turned into choking gasps.
What?
And blood sprayed the walls. I clamped my hand over my mouth, tears streaming down my face as I tried to stay silent. My whole body trembled as I prayed he wouldn't hear me. Then he paused. For a moment, it felt like time stopped. His head turned slightly, his cold, empty eyes scanning the hallway. My heart pounded so hard that I thought it would explode. He took a step toward the vase. I held my breath. My
Bro,
chest
that boy got some. What,
my
bro?
vision blurring. But then, as if deciding I wasn't worth his time, he turned and walked.
He's walking like but he's liking like, you know what I mean? Like a little bit of what's the name? Swag, a little bit of swag. That's first, but second of all, bro. Okay, so he killed everybody in the house. He didn't kill her, which it could take couple seconds to kill her, but he didn't kill her. He let her leave. That means he knows her impersonally. So personally, he knows her. That's why he didn't kill her.
Away, the sound of his footsteps
You
faded
see, it's
into the
IQ
night.
moves, bro.
I stayed frozen, curled up behind the vase, until the first rays of sunlight streamed through the windows.
You
My
pussy.
body ached, my throat was raw, and my mind felt shattered. When I finally stumbled into the living room, it felt like stepping into a nightmare. The house was crawling with cops, the air thick with the stench of copper and bleach. Crime scene tape crisscrossed the halls. An officer noticed me and asked who I was. I stammered something, barely coherent. They guided me outside, treating me like some lost child. I sat on the curb, staring blankly as the chaos unfolded around me. I overheard snippets of conversations. No fingerprints, no signs of forced entry. 4 lives were gone in an instant, and no one knew
And he
why.
didn't do nothing about it.
Weeks passed, and the whole campus felt like it was suffocating.
What
under the
are we
weight of
talking
fear.
about? You didn't do
The
nothing
media
about it.
swarmed like vultures, spinning theories and pointing fingers. Then, in December, they arrested Brian Koberger, a criminology PhD student. The irony made me want to vomit. His car had been spotted near the house that night. His DNA matched the knife sheath left behind, but none of that erased the terror that haunted me. Even now, I can't close my eyes without seeing those cold, empty eyes staring at me.
That's, you know what,
The
bro?
Idaho killing case revolves around the tragic deaths
Goodness.
of 4 University
I
of
don't wanna see
Idaho
it, bro.
students.
Goodness
Kaylee
gracious, no.
Goncalves, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin, who were brutally stabbed in their off-campus home in Moscow, Idaho, on November 13th, 2022. The shocking crime left the small
Goodness
college town on
gracious,
edge. After
dog.
weeks of investigation, police arrested Brian Koberger, a criminology PhD student at Washington State University, in December 2022. DNA evidence, surveillance footage, and cell phone data tied Koberger to the crime. The case, still unfolding as of 2025, has drawn national attention for its disturbing nature and the ongoing legal proceedings.
But you know what?
York, and that night on the
So
Sunset
three.
Strip was my send-off, a chance to soak in the city one last time. The neon lights flickered, music thumped in the distance, and the world felt electric. And then I saw him. He was standing by the entrance of the club, his eyes dark, scanning the crowd. He looked normal, maybe even handsome, but something about the way he lingered made my stomach churn.
That she killing that dance.
Alcala, and he had a reputation for being smooth, maybe too smooth. Hey, he said later, flashing a grin that didn't quite reach his eyes. You guys should come to my place. Let's keep the party going.
Nah.
I didn't trust him, but my friends laughed it off. It's just Rodney, one of them said. He's harmless. That's how I ended up in the backseat of his car.
Okay, so the thing is, why did they didn't go with you? Well, what?
I sat stiffly, my unease growing with every mile we put between us and the strip. The streets grew darker and quieter until we pulled up to a rundown house. Inside, the air was heavy and smelled faintly of mildew. Rodney handed around a joint, and my friends accepted without hesitation. I, on the other hand, couldn't relax. Rodney's gaze kept darting to me, his smile fading into something colder, hungrier. I should have left. I should have listened to my instincts. Come with me, Rodney said, suddenly grabbing my arm.
What?
I asked, my voice trembling. Come on, he said, his tone now sharp, his grip unrelenting.
What?
He yanked me down the hall, shoving open a door and pulling me into a dimly lit bedroom.
Let me go!
I screamed, trying to pull free. Shut up! He snapped, slamming the door behind us. He took off his belt, wrapping it around his fist. You think you can just leave? he hissed, his voice low and venomous. My heart pounded.
Please,
Before I could finish, his fist connected with my face. Pain exploded between my eyes as my head hit the wall. I crumpled to the floor, dazed but still conscious. Rodney knelt over me, his breath hot and sour. "You're not going anywhere," he whispered, his voice almost amused. He
What?
pulled out a knife, the blade catching the dim light. My breath caught as he cut the tie of my blouse, the fabric fading away to reveal a thin red line across my chest.
Oh my
I thought for
gosh.
sure he did cut my throat. All I thought inside my head was,
did he really cut me? Will I die?
"You're gonna die here," he said, casually, like he was discussing the weather. "No one will ever find you." Tears streamed down my face as I struggled against him, but he shoved his belt into my mouth, gagging me. I gagged and thrashed, but he tied my wrists with a necktie.
So why did you ask him why though? That's first, but second of all, why you went to this man's house? You don't know him. There's a lot of questions, and there's a lot of stupid actions this girl did that she didn't have to
His
do.
motions quick and practiced. "Stop moving!" he growled, punching me in the stomach. The air rushed from my lungs, and I collapsed, gasping. Rodney was out of control now, his face red and twisted with rage. "This is your fault!" Spat, cutting away the rest of my clothes. "You shouldn't have gotten in the car!" I wanted to scream, to beg for mercy, but I
Okay.
couldn't. My
But
body
listen, bro,
broke.
there's a lot of action she could have did. Why you went to this man's house without even knowing him? Like, it's literally not even, like, you feel what I'm saying? It's a lot of dumb moves you just did for no reason. Do you got pepper spray? No. Do you got a taser? No. Do you got a clock? No. Do you got a pocket knife? No. So why you went to this man's house you thought it was okay? If you got nothing to yourself to protect with. I don't understand, bro. It's absolutely dumb.
My chest heaved, and I felt myself slipping away. After some point, I wanted it to end. I
No
didn't
shit,
wanna
me
live.
too.
I wanted to die.
Pause.
Then, suddenly, there was a loud pounding on the door. "Rodney!" someone shouted.
Yep.
"Open the door!" It was my friends. Rodney froze, his head snapping toward the noise. His hands tightened on
But
the
I'm
knife,
kicking that shit
and for a
down, bro.
terrified
I'm
moment,
kicking that
I
shit
thought he was
down.
going to finish it anyway. The pounding grew louder. "Mike, break the window!"
Flank.
The glass shattered, and
This
Mike
man do play Call of Duty. That was a good flank right there, boy.
burst into the room, his eyes wide with horror. He froze for a moment, staring at Rodney, who stood over me, blood staining his shirt.
Come on.
Rodney stepped back, his expression
2 versus 1.
blank. "Take her," he said, his
No.
voice eerily calm.
Not me taking you.
Didn't hesitate. He grabbed me and pulled me through the broken window. My legs were weak, my body trembling, but I clung to him as we stumbled into the
But
night.
I'm not.
Outside,
But I'm
the
not
air
turning.
felt cold.
I'm not turning my back to the enemy, bro. Like what?
Sharp, like I could finally breathe again. A car screeched to a halt nearby, and the couple inside helped us escape. Rodney didn't follow. Mike took me to his apartment, where his neighbor, a nurse, patched me up. I sat there in shock, my mind replaying the night like a broken record. For years, I carried the guilt with me. A friend later sent me a newspaper clipping about Rodney's attempted murder of another girl, Tally Shapiro. That's when I realized the magnitude of what had happened, and what could have happened if Mike hadn't broken that window. I survived, but I wasn't whole. Rodney Alcala had taken something from me that night, something I would never
What?
get
Oh,
back.
bro, I got chills. What the fuck?
Rodney Alcala,
Here we go. Yep.
known as
Here we
the
go.
dating game killer, was a convicted
Wow.
serial killer
Wow.
and rapist who preyed on young women and girls in the 1970s. Among his countless victims, Morgan Rowan's name does not appear in the
Okay.
historical
Here we
record
go.
or publicized cases tied to Alcala. Alcala, a photographer, used his charm and photography offers to lure victims, often exploiting their dreams of modeling. He was later convicted of multiple murders, including those of Robin Samso and others, and linked to additional unsolved cases through DNA. Alcala's chilling crimes highlighted the dangers of manipulation, ultimately leading to his death sentence and imprisonment.
Are we done? You know what? Oh shit, I clicked another video. Yo, I'm done. Hope you enjoyed this. If you have more spooky scary Friday, know what to do. Smash the like button. Yo, dang, that's tough, y'all. This was a tough video right here, y'all. Not gonna cap. I'm gonna see you boys in the next. So hope you enjoyed some. Peace.